said they want him off the train. I've been telling them that's what.
Not tough. All right. Not touch it. Don't 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 touch it. Then I go back in. Don't touch me, nigga. Why you touching me? I ain't gonna do nothing. You have to sit me off the train for no reason. Take the next one. One nigga. Don't go back in. Everybody recording disturbance. How am I causing disturbance if I'm moving? Am I screaming at you? Why you going on? Wanna know why I'm screaming? Wanna know why I'm screaming? Because you, nigga, you supposed to be took me off the train. That's why I'm screaming. I was just chilling, minding my own business. You took someone dick, nigga. They ain't talking to you. Pull your sock. You took me off the train. I didn't do nothing. All right, you can take the next train. Yo, exactly. Bro, I didn't do anything wrong, man. Don't make your face right there. What did I do wrong? What's the crime there? What's the crime there? What's the crime there? Causing disturbance on the train. I'm leaning on the pole. I'm leaning on the pole and I'm causing disturbance. How am I causing disturbance? I pay my fare. I pay my fare. Nigga, do you know what I work for? Bro, you obviously don't know. Bro, I got it. Second way church. I'm a UPS post office citizen. Where did I just come from? And I'm still recording. Where did I just come from? I just came from UPS. I just got from work. You don't know why I just got from work. I was there. Yeah, Christmas presents, nigga. That's exactly why I'm off of work. They just took the UPS worker off work. You see my badge? You see the badge? They took me off of work, off the train for no reason. For no reason. And I'm being prosecuted as a problem. I didn't even do anything. All I was doing was laying on the pole. I could lay in the pole. Want to know why I could lay on the pole? I paid my $275. I paid my $275. And I'm a UPS worker. Nigga, I pay the taxes, nigga. Don't put that on my face. Don't put that on my face. Pick my phone up. Yo, thank you. I'm standing here. I'm talking to you. All right, hands off. You stick with that. Don't think that happens. You don't know what happened. I was going home and y'all took me off the train. This shit going on social media. You just took me off the train. You tried to get to the Brooklyn Bridge. You took me off the train. There's a big going I paid $275. I paid $275.
One way down there, it takes you 2 to 3 to Brooklyn Bridge. Changes. Go all the way down and go up on the elevator. Go up on the the elevator and go to 2. When you get off the elevator, you're gonna see the sign say 2 or 3 train. And just
I'm so sorry. Can you tell me what happened?
He was acting crazy inside the train, harassing all the
Well, you know what?
passengers.
It was harassing?
All the passengers.
What exactly was it doing?
Cursing out all the pedestrians in the train.
Oh,
Riders like yourself.
Which street you
He
want
was
to
calling
go
the
to?
female
You wanna
comic
go
bitch
to
for
the
no
courts?
reason, man. So it's not always what it looks like, right? You have to get all the information.
Down here, go down, take the elevator. Okay? See that elevator? Yeah. Go all the way to the end. And get on the elevator and go upstairs. And you see the 2 and the 3. See where it say 2 and 3? Go straight down. Okay? Okay. All right.
I was arguing with you. Listen, these are my argument. You see him, right? He a whole pussy, right? I bet you, if he had that badge on, I bet you I would beat that nigga up in the fight. I bet you can't beat me in the fight. I do want you to go make him. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Have a good day.
Hey, excuse me, officer. Can I just have your badge number? Yeah, now that's very interesting. They came and arrested me in the bathroom for other police. I didn't do any of that, and they charged me with disorderly conduct. They said somebody said I stole a cell phone. I was explaining to that, I was explaining. They knocked me down. So that's a differential standard. We immigrants can be accused, wrongfully accused, beat up, and they charge me to court. Say I was disorderly. You know, but you have somebody here blocking the train and they don't charge him. This is what they said Erica Matson Yorkin to ask them to focus on immigrants like me and get us deported and make false accusation against us. Even though, you know, they said somebody said I stole something and I'm hiding in the train station bathroom, Chambers Street, and I told them, look, I've been experiencing this kind of problem. It's called being a Karen, where people make up false accusation against me. I say my mother's daughters killed my mother that way, made up for false accusation against her. I was quite crazy, killed in 2015. I said, you know, I said I've been expressing the same issue. I said I've already contacted the police commissioner. I said even just yesterday, on November 14, 2020, I was sending them this. I said just yesterday, I sent an email to Lolita James, the Attorney General. I said, do you want to see the email? As I was talking, he knocked me down, bashed my head on the wall. We don't want to hear you talk. You're talking blah, blah, blah. We don't even understand your accent. You know, and they charged me with disorderly conduct. So apparently, they're not supposed to do that. They're not supposed to do that, you know. And they didn't witness me steal anything. At least they witnessed this guy actually saw me. And I was blocking. They said it was harassing people. I was using the bathroom. And the janitor, an Indian woman came. She always addresses me. Every time I use that bathroom, she tells me not to be a woman. I'm going to call the police arrest. And she came on November 14th, 2005. Did it to me again, say, you're not a real woman, I'm going to call the police arrest. And I was recording her, and the police came. I said, okay, what is the problem this time around? I was actually going to call you guys that the janitor was arresting. And the one time I was following me, she said, leave the bathroom. I said, look, I experience the same thing every day. Anytime I want to use the bathroom here, they tell me, I'm not a real woman. I said, let me check my bag. I said, don't take your bag. And, they came out to provoke me. And on November 14th, that number 14 is synonymous with my mother's daughter's birthday, Bolanle. She's born on August 14th. So they came there to possibly kill me. And my mother's address are part of the killer gang. And they were trying to kill me and my mother. This Bolanle and Flora, the one in Nigeria. They were trying to They were trying to kill my mother and inherit lawsuit money my mother was suing for. The police took my mother's son, started and killed my son in Ghana while he was helping us. And there was this Nigerian musician that was singing about it. Even when my mother was alive before they killed her in Ghana, he released a song called Shake Body. He said they want to hold him for ransom because he's young, rich, and handsome. My mother was saying the same thing. That drugs were trying to declare me mentally ill, and get control of the money. The same thing that happens with Britney Spears. My mother said drugs were trying to do to me and her. And my mother doesn't even know Britney Spears. She's not really into, young music. My mother's like 60-something years old when she was killed. And she was saying, she has the insight, And around that time, the police also went and arrested Eric Garner while he was helping me, and said they wanted to take him to the mental ward. I said the police was laughing. They killed him on a day synonymous with my birthday. I was born on July 8th. They killed him on July 17th. I used to go to a Black American church called Bishop Jordan Ministry, and the guy said, that Bishop Jordan. He said, it's based off of my hand. He said, number 17 is also number 8 to God, because God always adds number together, 1 plus 7 plus 8. He said number 8 is a number of, it's a very divine number. That God always uses that number 8 for great things. So I don't know if some Black Americans were also involved, thinking if they can kill Eric Garner, kill me, kill my mother, that God will give them reparation money for slavery. And I noticed this Al Sharpton also doesn't want to help me. I contacted them about this matter, and it's only helping the Arugana family. And he's saying, some of you'll never get justice because you don't know how to work this civil rights stuff. You got to learn how to work this civil rights stuff. And on August, what was this? Was it October 8th? He said he's going to march here in front of Wall Street. He said, you better show up if you want to get this justice. And people have been coming around me, calling me mama, dad. I'm saying, no, I'm not looking for anybody to go and create a child for me. I'm gay, I was born a male, I'm not a woman, so I can't have a child for myself. And some people are calling me dada, mama. So I guess what they want to do is to lure me to surrogacy and create children from me and kill me, and then they inherit all the money. So on August 8th, I said, this Ashatu was threatening for many weeks. He said, you better show up, all of you that want justice, you better show up, go to march from the hospital. And they always attacked this area, but the Talent Ferry, this Eric Adam started paying. The Talent Ferry workers hire money, their management, like millions of dollars in increase in pay. And anytime I go there, they'll try to kill me. So apparently, they still want to carry out the plan to declare me crazy, like my mother's daughter's gang was based in Nigeria, and my mother's daughter here, the gang, some of them are based in America also. My mother's daughter, Bolanle, was born in America, one of my mother's daughters. Funke is in Nigeria, born in Nigeria. My mother said that the daughters were colluding together, the ones here in America, the one in Nigeria. So declare me and my mother crazy and take over the lawsuit money, because me and my mother was soon the NYPD for taking me and my mother from Mustana. The daughters in America live in Pennsylvania, they have their own house there. And the one in Nigeria, she has her own house in Nigeria. She was born to the future of this one. She went to Oxford College, Oxford University in London. And she's working for the Nigerian government. The father, this Funke Thomas, the father, my mother's brother Funke Thomas. My father left her a lot of money. My mother said, in the 1980s when her father died, my mother said my father was working as a bank officer. My father returned back from America with a master's degree from Long Island University. And my mother said the estate was paying my mother's daughter Funke more money than my father, and then my mother said they were paying her a lot of money that even American workers don't get. But at that time, the Nigerian money was $1. So when this Funke father died, our father joined Mr. Thomas, they call him Chief Thomas. They left her enough money that even American workers don't get that kind of money. And she was making while she was in high school. And so she took me up one day, this tried to turn me out the window. She said my father is so poor that why did my mother marry a pauper? So my mother called the police and arrested her. And our father's family came and bailed out of prison. I never got justice. So my mother came back to America, became a US citizen. And that daughter, now the Nigerian economy is messed up, the Nigerian currency is now down. It's like, before one Nigerian money was like $2 in the 80s and 70s. Now, $1 is like 2,000 Nigerian money. So that Funke was like, she wants to come to America, my mother should sponsor her. My mother said no. She's like, stay with your rich father's family, because you call my child, my mother never saw the truth for that daughter, Funke, and don't for her to come to America. So that daughter started colluding with my mother's daughters here, Polani and Sora, who are playing America, to kill my mother and to declare my mother crazy and kill us and take over the money. You know, like they were being bad girls. I was born a male, I'm not a woman. You know, and a Nigerian musician was singing about it. Around that time, I was just playing the song, you know, in the on the train, saying, "Shake body, they want to hold me for ransom because I'm rich and handsome." You know, because I'm rich, young, and handsome at that time, 2014. What my mother was talking about, they didn't even kill Eric Garner. They released the song April 2014. They killed Eric Garner July 2014. So this song was released. Oh, they've already killed Eric Garner. You know, but damn, the person was already recording the song before they killed Eric Garner. They released the song July 22. And the video was released July 22. They killed Eric Garner July 17. So there's no way, you know, this person must have recorded this song before they killed Eric Garner. And the same way my mother's daughters was trying to kill my mother by declaring us crazy. The police went and did it to Eric Garner. You know, so as to give my mother's daughters the go-ahead. I guess people were calling the police in America that they're trying to kill the daughters. Some daughters are trying to kill the mother and the mother's child by declaring them crazy. And the police went and did it to Eric Garner on July 17. And this song was interneted. It was released in Nigeria July 22, 2014. I'm sure the song was released earlier, but the video was posted on YouTube. Eric Garner was killed, like, the song was released on YouTube like 5 days after Eric Garner was killed. You know, Eric Garner was killed July 17, 2014. You know, and the song was interneted and the police was aware. And they said they killed Eric Garner July 17, which is synonymous with my birthday. And on November 14, last month, they came to attack me in the bathroom. So somebody said I stole something. As I explained to them, they knocked my head out. They was, shut up. We don't want to hear you speak. And I said, are you coming to investigate? I don't want to hear me speak, so we don't understand your accent. As you can see, this police, they took their time. They didn't arrest that guy that was even acting disorderly. I said, you know, I said, whoever called you said I stole something, I want that person investigated also. I said, I need a police report about that person. He said, no, we're not going to give any police report. You see, we're going to lock up in the psych ward. I said, why? He said, because you're running your mouth too much, talking about, you know, you want us to investigate. So, you know, we didn't find the cell phone, then we could have left you to go your way. But you kept saying you want that person that called us to be arrested. I said, now we're going to lock you up in the psych ward. I said, for what? For telling you to investigate this case properly? I said, you can't take me to the psych ward because of that. I said, if you take me to the psych ward, I will tell the doctor. I said, just change the rules. You have to call a nurse to come and evaluate you. And if you call the nurse, and I explained to the nurse that I'm just trying to get you to do your work properly because you said somebody said I stole a cell phone and I'm hiding in the bathroom. And I didn't find the cell phone on me, you know, and I was telling you I want you to investigate that person. I need a police report on why that person said that I lied against him. And he said, I will tell the nurse that. I said, that's why he called me. So he called the nurse to take me to the site. You know, I said, for no one to do your job. I said, okay, we're not going to call the nurse. Just charge you with disorderly conduct. I said, why? He said, because you were trying not to investigate the person that called to us to arrest you. You know, that's disorderly. You know, like, excuse me, and they then charged me, you know, with disorderly conduct. And they told me to come to the quarters. They have the community court. And I've been hearing that you should show by that community court, the judge will just claim that you need housing or you're crazy, you should go and look up in the mental home. And I noticed in the court papers, the summons, they put in an address. I said, I don't live in this address, I'm almost on the street, it doesn't matter. And they spell my name wrong. They put my first name as my last name. My first name is Babatunde, they entered it as my last name. I said, you can't put false information in the court papers, in the court summons, they don't care. it was a setup. They said it's a random, so they're trying to be crazy. I said, once they're trying to be crazy like that, it's easy for them to have somebody walk in the mental community and claim that that's the sort of even the Oklahoma Disability Law Center says it's up in Oklahoma that they would the people in the mental homes there, they'll beat them up, and when they try to file court case in court, the jury won't believe the mental home resident. The workers will claim the person started the aggression. I said the court will dismiss the case. You know, so you can listen to the song singing about they want to hold me for ransom, young ransom. And the song was released July 2014. As soon as the gunner was killed. So that means they must have started recording the song.
Were you recently injured in a car accident? Look at this check for $160,000. If you were looking to get money,
inside the address of China. Trying to hold him for ransom for same thing what I was saying. The address was trying to lock them and mother up in the mental ward. My phone almost fell off my hands. It could be left. Oh, it's stressing me. You know, and it's very interesting. It has 3 females dancing, and at some point, we did a number 3 sign. My mother was saying the 3 girls were involved. Funke based in Nigeria, Volanle based in America, Flora based in America. And he did number 3 sign in the song. And he has 3 females dancing. He did number 3 sign, like, you know. Ring alarm, shake body, move body. You want to hold him for ransom because young people can answer. He did an eye popping. You know, I when I came into America, my eyes was crossed, and I was going to different doctors to treat my cross eye. You know, so let me view the relevance of that. And he had 3 females at the beginning dancing, and he did number 3 sign, something in the video also, showing that my 3 mother's daughters were involved. Ring alarm, sound the alarm. It didn't sound like a handcuff. They want to hold me for ransom because I'm young, rich, and handsome. You know, at one point did the number 3 sign. I think showing that my mother's daughters, 3 of them are involved in that scheme. And they've gone to the air, killing. At one point, they didn't have like this. I normally carry bags, you know, with the cards, you know. They were doing their hand. One of the dancers was doing their hand. One of the dancers was doing their hand like this, backward, you know. So the dance move was like, you know, was like talking talking about me. And they held the map of Australia. Earlier, I went to travel to Australia to study, but my father wanted to go to Australia. The lady was touching her hair like crazy, you know, ring the alarm. So I guess some people called to the police to help me and my mother. I decided to kill her, Ghana like that also. And did put there, Stan's Vision. I don't know what that means, but there's another singer. You know, this is like the 3 sign. He did another 3 sign there. With Michelle, my mother's daughters, the 3 of them are involved. There's another guy called Stanley E now. He sang about it. Like last year also, I guess that's the follow-up. He's a Cameroonian singer. And he called himself E now, because I've been trying to get money for online from all these singers that seem to know about what happened to my mother doing, you know. And all the people wouldn't help me, all the people I contact online, all these rappers. And he called himself E now. He's a new artist. And you know, I guess maybe to entice me to contact him, it's going to help me. And talk about it, you know. He released this song 2 years ago. My mother was killed like 10 years ago. Take over. My mother was saying adults were trying to kill her, declare her crazy to take over the estate. You know, any money my mother would win. And he went, it's from Cameroon, but he went to Nigeria to record also.
I got myself into a tricky situation.
So many songs like that. A lot of songs talking about it. And the FBI wouldn't help me.
Okay, so for some context,
And instead they hired my mother's daughter, you know, follows me around Apolani. You know. And the video says Swiss. I heard in Switzerland, they have medically assisted suicide. So what they do is to try to drive me crazy. Don't let me use the bathroom. This mayor also said the police should be on the neck of all these homeless. So they're crazy. So they use this all psychological manipulation to try to drive me crazy. So that they can just claim I'm deprived. They don't let me take a shower. They don't give me housing. You know, there's a court order that people are removed from their home, just for an apartment. But they see on the way they have to keep them hotel room. This Eric Adam is blocking me from getting housing. I contact him every day. I'm going to send him this video also. So to make me look dirty and crazy, so I can I've been depressed. People sometimes just cry online. You know, some people supposed to be there crying. So that they can then kill me and say I was just depressed. You know, I'll even take me to Switzerland. They said they allow medical assisted suicide. And then, you know, and all the people that joined in encouraging me to kill myself or to die, not get bribery. You know, they have to come around and say just cry. Just cry like crying. You know, yes, I'm always trying to kill my mother. I'm always trying to keep my friend Ghana. I'm always trying to what they're doing to me. But I'm not trying to get justice. I'm not angry. But, you know, I know there's so much evidence. You know, so like this is supposed to be the one crying. I want the world to sponsor me, donate money to me, so these people can be locked up from Mayor Eric Adams to this Governor Oko. She's also saying she wants the police to keep arresting homeless. She was saying now, take the cell phone from the kid. She's sending cold words to the police. Because in gay literature, in gay connotation, in gay parlance, they call gay people kid. You know, your kid or whatever, the black Americans call people kid. So she's saying no. So this Governor Oko was on WABC radio yesterday on December 22, 2025. So she was, you know, she thinks that because I'm Nigerian, I don't understand American street talk. She was like, you know, I just want the kids not to have cell phone because they get distracted with the cell phone. They don't give people eye contact. You know, I have cross-eyed. It's very hard for me to get eye contact. And they've been trying to send people to me to lure me away, tell me they want to marry me and stuff. And they've been looking deep in my eye, and I really can't look deep in people's eyes because I'm cross-eyed, you know. I have intermittent strabismus. You know, so she's been dissing. I've been going to doctors to treat my cross-eye, you know, for a long time now. You know, so she was on WABC radio yesterday. She was like, we just want these kids to be able to look people in the eye once again. They don't look at people in the eye. So we're going to take the cell phone from them. So they've been trying to get me arrested, you know, start a problem with me. They've been sending thugs to jump me anywhere I go, sometimes to spit at me, to get me angry. And once you start fighting, the police can arrest you, take your cell phone away, and go locked up in the mental home. So she's sending street code, street lingo to these cops. I'm under FBI surveillance. It says my immigration case was started 25 years ago. My mother brought me as a child from Nigeria to America, and he said, my mother's green card doesn't cover me, you know. So she was sending codes. They said the gangsters in America talking code. Even the Italian mafia, this is so hard. So they could say, they could be ordering pizza, and the pizza they're ordering, they're ordering for the hitman to go and kill their rival. It's even in prison. People would claim, when they start talking on the phone and start saying, I'm bringing you candy tomorrow, the prison officials will know that candy is not candy, it's something let's withdraw. So this Governor Oku, she's using gang speak, gang speak. She's a lawyer, and they say she's always aided immigrants. In the 1990s, New York was the first place to say now undocumented immigrants can get driver's license. And she was a Republican, and she was working for the county clerk, and she said no, she's going to deny immigrants driver's licenses. She said she was working upstate. I don't know if undocumented immigrants have to go to upstate. They agreed to get some documents to certify that they're in the country so they can get driver's license. But they said this Governor Oku was breaking the law as a Republican county clerk. She wouldn't issue the document this immigrant need. Maybe they need an attestation of their residency because they don't have papers to show they decided. I said she's not going to do this before. They let them get driver's license. And she was breaking the law, they never locked her up. Now she claims she's a Democrat, and she's been trying to get this police, funding them to arrest people like me. That was the time she got many people killed. Here by the World Trade Center. In 2022 there was a snowstorm, and anytime I tried to use the bathroom, she would bring soldiers, like the National Guard soldiers, to the bathroom. They'll be scaring me from the bathroom, and they're not supposed to use U.S. military on civilians. And there was no war, civil war going on. COVID was all over America. The whole world had a travel restriction. And the World Trade Center was saved. Normally, if the World Trade Center is in trouble, they have a red coat they will put on top of the building. But the coat there was green or yellow, showing there was no trouble. But there was a COVID outbreak. For the COVID, the people weren't the one killing people with COVID. COVID was just killing people. So that wasn't terrorists spreading COVID. So, and it was peaceful. People didn't really come outside much. Everybody was scared. And she put all the soldiers at the World Trade Center. This is the train stop for the World Trade Center. And they follow me to the bathroom, scare me, and they bring black American gangs to harass me in the women's bathroom, any bathroom I use. And they were just trying to drive me crazy. So at that time, a snowstorm started in 2022 in Buffalo, and Biden administration, then President Biden, said New York should prepare for the snowstorm. And this governor could left the soldiers, National Guard soldiers, that's the only section of the military state governor's control. She left the soldiers at the World Trade Center here with me, brought them in the bathroom, and then the snowstorm hit Buffalo harder. This is always much water, the weather's much harsher in Buffalo, upstate. And they said a black American nurse was driving home from work, and she got stuck in a snowstorm. She called 911, and they told her they were going to send her help. And the 911 dispatchers couldn't find responders that know how to fly an helicopter for rescue. They said the police in Buffalo doesn't know helicopter rescue. Only the National Guard just know helicopter rescue, because the police are military rescue, do Air Force stuff. And they said this governor could left the National Guard soldiers that know how to do helicopter rescue in the World Trade Center to do, bothering me, instead of dispatching them to Buffalo. And said 40 people got stuck in the snowstorm. And this Texas nurse was like 23 years old. And her family said she called them, so she's waiting for the responders. She had already called 911. And she died in that snow, very different. They couldn't find any soldiers in Buffalo. In the World Trade Center, she was bothering me. So I've been trying to get this governor Oku arrested, and she's pumping on my train, encouraging the gangs to attack me. And so I have a lot of phones, I was born in men, I'm not a woman, because my chest is elevated. Because I have a breast contest, the bag, I took the photo on my chest. I have numerous cell phones, numerous cell phones, which I used to record the soldiers bothering me. So they're trying to arrest me and take this cell phone. They don't want Governor Oku to go to jail, because she killed like 40 people, a lot of them are black Americans in Buffalo. And I required all these soldiers to always bother me in the World Trade Center. So the phone, I used to record the soldiers. So I keep it in my chest. kill me so they can get to my chest. So it's not a real breast. It's a bag filled with phones. I have like almost 50 phones in my bag. You know, I was recording during the COVID. They were tracking me everywhere. Even a guy took me home, raped me. I recorded him. I called the police in the Bronx while the guy was raping me. The police wouldn't help me kick me out. You know, that time Governor Oko was still lieutenant governorship and Cuomo was the governor. And there was a law there that, you know, wherever you are during that COVID, it's your home. The police can't kick you out. They can only arrest anybody but me. So the guy took me to his home so that I could come there to the bathroom and was raping me, so he wants to get married. I told him no, he will rape me. So I had to call 911. And he told me if I ever dare escape, he's connected with the police and he'll get the police to kill me on the street. So I'm not going to live too long on the street. So I was afraid of leaving. And so I called the police finally on him because he was punching me and there was blood on my face. And the police came and took a picture of my face with the blood. And they told me I have to go back on the street for calling them. I said, this guy says he's going to kill me on the street if I go. I said, no. I said, there's a court that Governor Cuomo at that time in 2020 issued an order that wherever you are is your home and nobody can evict you. The police, you have to go back on the street for calling us. You know, and the guy already told me that he walked to the police and the police will kill me on the street. So since I've been on the street, this Governor Oko has been trying to carry out that threat. And she's saying, you know, like yesterday, December 22, 2025, she was like, she wants to take the cell phone from the kids. You know, she went on the BBC radio at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah. Cash Martinez, the owner of the BBC, was doing a radio show with his assistant. I've forgotten her name. And you know, and they invited Governor Oko to talk. So these kids can't look people in the eye anymore. I have a problem looking people in the eye. You know, sometimes, you know, I have cross eye. It's not so evident, but sometimes it's evident. It's called intermittent distributions. A cross eye that comes on and off. I said, she's very worried. These kids are not looking people in the eye. These kids need to learn how to look people in the eye. I'm like, is she trying to sex traffic little children? Little children are supposed to be shy, are not supposed to be looking at adults in the eye. It's okay for a kid not to make eye contact, because if you encourage little kids to make eye contact with strangers, they could encounter a kidnapper. So you know, what country tells little kids to be looking strangers in the eye and conversing with people? I just want these kids to be social. What country encourages their kids to be talking to strangers and be social? In Nigeria, they always want us kids, don't trust nobody, don't talk to strangers. So it's okay if little kids don't like to make eye contact. I couldn't make eye contact also. And they've been trying to send people to sexually traffic me. They know I'm on FBI surveillance because since I came here with my mother 25 years ago, they arrested my JFK. My mother thought a green card covered me, but said the green card doesn't cover me, and you know, and they arrested me and stuff. So they put me under FBI surveillance. I was later bailed out of prison. I was going back to the court for 8 years till I finally got my green card, but they left me on FBI surveillance. You know, so a lot of the people they send to me, they don't really speak. They just give me eye contact, look in my eye. You know, look in my eye and trying to lure me to come to their house. And like, no, and I don't really like to look people in the eye, so I look away. You know, so I guess, you know, because sometimes they'll be winking at me when they're looking in my eye. You know, I'm like, just speak whatever you want to say. I know the FBI is, I'm under FBI surveillance. You know, and sometimes they just be winking at me, so I don't even look in the eye. When somebody's talking to me, I look away like this. So, okay, you know, because now they've been looking at me, trying to wink at me, you know, or whatever. No, I don't have any deal with anybody. So this another thing is they can kill you in America and claim you had an oral agreement with them. You know, you always, and even, you know, you always settle deals with winking at each other. Even this Cash Martinez on the BBC radio said in America, all deals are done over the dinner table. All deals are closed. So anytime I'm buying food and stuff like that, people be surrounding me, calling me mommy and giving me money. I'm like, no, I'm not your mommy. Don't call me mommy. I'm not looking for surrogate. So they want to kill me and inherit money from me. You know, I'm a Nigerian. I was born a male, and I'm not a female, so I can't have a child. I'm only attracted to guys. I know two males can have a child. So they've been trying to force the surrogacy. You know, and I tell you, I'm not even interested in any kind of sexual relationship. You know. So this WABC radio, they'll be saying in America, all deals are finalized over dinner table. So I'm not looking for anybody to adopt a child for me. So in case I'm killed and they claim, you know, that in America, everybody knows all deals are finalized over the dinner table. They played that jingle, that prompt on WABC radio. So they said that WABC radio has a lot of FBI agents that provide them security, because one of their workers, called the Slaver, used to talk about the Italian mafia, so the Italian mafia sent hitmen to kill him on the way to work, you know, and he escaped. So since then, they positioned WABC radio, FBI agent in WABC radio since the 1990s. in case the Italian mafia tries to kill Corey Stewart. And Corey Stewart this year said that WBC radio is so full of crime. He said stop working for them. He's now working for a new radio station, WOR. So yesterday I was talking on the radio at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. saying on WOR, said that WBC radio should avoid the criminals there. And then later on that day at 5 p.m. I was listening to WBC radio. And it was this Corey Stewart said don't listen to WBC radio. Said they are criminals, a lot of them are criminals, and they're into all kinds of crime. And the WBC radio now was also saying Corey Stewart is also a criminal. So I don't know what to believe. But I started listening to WBC radio again yesterday, December 20, 2025, around 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And their owner, Kasmatidis, is friends with Trump. He's a Greek immigrant, but he has American citizenship. And I was now interviewing Governor Ogo, and she was saying, I just want to take the phones from the kids. These kids are not making eye contact. You don't need these kids to make eye contact again. And I think you should send a message to the police, to the gang. Say, arrest this person, lock them up, frame them up as crazy, and take the cell phones away. So she wants the cell phones taken away from me because there's evidence against Governor Ogo. She got 40 people killed in Buffalo, and before her term expires, they say she's not going to, even the BBC radio says she's only going to be a one-time governor. She's not going to win the election anymore. And I think the governorship election is coming up next year, so she wants to get me killed this year. Boom, take all the evidence. So she wants to kill you, they steal all your evidence. I have cell phones here, like almost 50 cell phones, that would put this governor in prison. So she's been giving money to the NYPD, say go in the subway, arrest this homeless, So she's, so they're trying to kill me as a Nigerian. So this governor is ordering a hit on me. My life is not safe. My mother has been killed. There's all kinds of American gangs attacking foreigners. A black American LP has been killed. So please donate to my cash app NYC homeless so I can rent a hotel room. There's just too much evidence. So the FBI is not helping me. The prosecutor is not helping me. I've contacted Lisa James, the New York State Attorney General. I've contacted local prosecutors in Manhattan. I've been bragged, they're not helping me. They said, there's all this kind of xenophobia. Even this guy and this Mayor Adams, he's been saying, he was taunting me after the police arrested me in 2019. And he went, they used to harass me on the subway, and I used to tell the police that they should stop mistreating me as a migrant. I said in Ohio, a Nigerian became mayor around 2019 in a town in Ohio. And I said in Ohio, where they were given undocumented immigrant driver's licenses in the 1990s. I said New York should emulate that and accept us immigrants. Then, and then they started posting, threats to me in public bathrooms. Like sometimes I go to 14th Street on the A train, but I use the bathroom there, and they post threats to me. So die soon, poser. So some people are saying, no, I speak with a fake American accent. That my American accent is not steady. It's mixed with Nigerian accent. So they'll tell me, die soon, poser. So anytime the police see me anywhere using the bathroom in the train station like 4th Street, Eric Adams was the borough president of Brooklyn at that time. So I used to go to 4th Street because I go to the court there a lot for my case against that. Kid, my friend Eric Adams in with that case. 13 CV 5052. I was suing the police for taking my home after that. And so I used to go back to that 4th Street area, the train station, used the women's bathroom there. So customers, the police would come and take my bathroom. So I go across the street, and in front of Eric Adams' office was the borough president. I said, please, you police, stop mistreating us immigrants. I say in Ohio, Nigerians just become a mayor in Ohio, and in Iowa, they are allowing undocumented immigrants to have driver's license. And soon the police arrested me in Brooklyn and locked me up in the mental ward, stole all my phones, stole my green card, and then Eric Adams congratulated the police. Some weeks later, after they arrested me in 2019, July 2019, by January 2020, close to my mother's birthday on July, my mother's birthday is January 19, on January 20, 2020, he went and made a speech in Harlem. Says some of you, outsiders that come to New York think we're going to welcome you, so we're not going to welcome you. So go back to Ohio, go back to Iowa. New York is for real New Yorkers. We're not going to welcome you, and people were clapping for him. And since then, they directed money to him, this Bloomberg, under Bloomberg, they killed my mother with their abusive policing, they rendered my mother homeless, and with the police, and then my mother's daughter's gang got my mother declared mentally ill, even though my mother wasn't crazy, and they was trying to lock her up in the mental ward, and my mother got angry and they killed her like that. And they've been trying to lock me up in the mental ward also. You know, so the Bloomberg was afraid because my mother contacted Bloomberg right away. In 2010, it was Mayor. When the police came into our home and kicked us out, my mother told Bloomberg she has a heart problem and she doesn't think she's going to be able to survive. We've been on the street and she asked Bloomberg to help us. And Bloomberg did help us. And by 2015, after my mother was killed by the drugs, Bloomberg was afraid. Like, we tried because he had wrote a letter back to my mother saying he's going to help us. And he never helped us. And for 5 years, he never helped us. My mother wrote to him in 2010. He responded that he was going to help us. My mother went to the Brooklyn Federal Court also. Filed a case there that she's afraid she may not be able to survive 2 months on the street with a heart condition. He used to do surgery. My mother wanted to do surgery. Just, she didn't want to do it here in America because she was hearing about her daughters. You know, she was just so scared her daughters were moving with a bad gang. And she was afraid. You know, the gang could compromise treatment in the hospital because whatever hospital she goes to, her daughter sometimes will come there and you would, don't call me baby, I don't like that.
How you doing? Take care, right?
Yeah. I don't know you like that. So the other people calling me baby and all that. So I don't want them to be killed in the future and claim I'm into any sexual relationship with them. You know, and I wink my eyes at them saying it's okay, but careful. You know, so in case, you know, because I'm under FBI surveillance, so the FBI picks up everything I say. So I don't want it to be using sexual words on me. I don't want it to be using sexual words on me. And claim, you know, I don't normally say things. I don't want them to lie in the future. So I don't normally say things. So I was aware FBI was surveilling me. So I was making people tell them. You know, if they tell me baby, I'll say, no, I don't stare at people. I have crosser. So this governor person, she just wants people, these little kids, to be able to stare at people again, to make eye contact again. You know, so we're going to take their cell phones. In schools, everywhere we find their cell, we're going to take it. So she's, you know, this could be, she may be luring this kid into sex trafficking. Nowhere in the world do they allow, they tell kids to be staring people in the eye. In Nigeria, I know for sure, they always tell us, don't look at strangers in the eye. They may kidnap you, don't talk to strangers. And it's okay if a child doesn't want to make eye contact with people. Children shouldn't make eye contact, period. You know, it's very sexual when you're making eye contact with somebody. It's connotates sex and stuff. So it's okay if a child doesn't make eye contact with people. You know, let kids be kids. You know, let kids be kids. Let them develop their own personality. If they want to make eye contact, but a girl not telling she wants kids to be making eye contact with strangers. You know, so she made, you know, it's not even funny. If she's trying to lure this kid into sex trafficking world, why should a governor say she wants kids to be making eye contact with strangers? Where they do that at? In Nigeria, they always tell us, don't look at strangers in the eye, they will kidnap you, don't be, you know. So she's endangering kids, and the New York State Assembly impeach her right away. This governor says she wants kids to be making eye contact with strangers. In a world where they kidnap kids, sex traffic kids, so this governor should be impeached for saying that she wants little kids to be friendly and be making eye contact with strangers. If she's trying to get these kids kidnapped, they said Epstein has a sex trafficking island where Bill Clinton shows up there, Trump shows up there. And is she also into sex trafficking little kids? Says her goal is to make kids friendly and be making eye contact with strangers. Impeach her right away. She was talking in gang talk. The police know she was giving them a code, you know, to arrest me, treat me like a kid, put me in a mental ward, and they've been trying to do that. They did that in 2019. I came out of the hospital after they arrested me wrongfully and locked up in the mental ward. You know, and it's trying to continue doing that. And sometimes they just use as a ruse to kill. They said, you know, there's a story I was reading. He said a black American, he accused him of being crazy also because he was fighting with his father. And said the police killed him. He had a bus car. I said the father was crying. He doesn't want his son dead. Children fight with their parents all the time. Even Jesus in the Bible, God wanted him to die and he didn't want to die. And he went and hid. And he said, Father, not my will, but let your will be done. After they killed him. Jesus was 33 years old. He had a disagreement with God. Apparently, God wanted him to die for the sin. And he was 33 years old. He went and hid, he didn't want to die. And somebody stitched on him, Judas stitched on him. He just hid himself. And as he was being died, as Jesus was dying, he was saying, Father, Father, why have you forsaken me? And